If you ever hear someone say, "The Trumps are rich, but not that rich," you might want to smile politely and walk away, because "not that rich" is the understatement of the century when it comes to the Trump family. While headlines focus on Donald Trump's controversies, what few realize is just how much real wealth his family still controls. From billion-dollar real estate to luxury brands to global licensing deals, this isn't about a mansion or two, it's about an empire. So before we get into the gilded corridors of their finances, hit that subscribe button. If you're the kind of person who likes numbers, gold, and jaw-dropping property tours, you're in the right place. Donald Trump himself is estimated to have a net worth of about $7.3 billion, according to recent reports. That's already plenty for most people. But the fun part? That number doesn't include all the hidden value tangled in trusts, overseas deals, crypto ventures, licensing agreements, and parental inheritance. One report suggested the family's wealth has surged by about $2.9 billion, thanks to recent crypto investments and licensing expansions. In short, they're richer than you think, and probably richer than they'll admit. Now, when you think of the Trump family, you might picture gold towers and luxury resorts. But what you don't always see is how insanely opulent their world really is. Let's start at the crown jewel estate of the Trump empire, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. This 17 to 20-acre estate wasn't always Trump property. Built between 1924 and 1927 by serial heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post, at a cost of about $7 million in then money, roughly $127 million in today's dollars. Then, in 1985, Donald Trump swooped in and purchased it for somewhere between $5 million and $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. A billionaire buying a palatial estate for only $10 million. He then turned it into a private club in 1995, and today, it's valued at around $350 million by some conservative estimates. The estate features 126 to 128 rooms, including 58 bedrooms and 33 bathrooms, and spans roughly 62,500 sq-ft. The architecture blends Spanish, Venetian, and Portuguese influences, with exterior walls clad in Dora limestone imported from Genoa, Italy, a 75-foot tile roof tower, offering Atlantic and lagoon views, 20,000 colorful roof tiles, and interiors that look straight out of an aristocratic fantasy. Inside, you'll find 15th-century Spanish tiles, a living room with a gold leaf ceiling that replicates Venetian grandeur, a dining room with a 4,000 pounds, inlaid marble table crafted by 15 Italian artists in themed suites. Trump didn't just preserve the grandeur, he turned the dial up to audacious. In 2005, he built a 20,000-square-foot ballroom for $40 million, with $7 million, 24-karat gold leaf on the ceiling, and 17 crystal chandeliers. 4 gold-plated sinks costing $100,000 each. Yes, sinks. As a private club, Mar-a-Lago is insanely exclusive, limited to 500 members. Initiation fees of $1 million or more, plus $20,000 annual dues, and overnight stays topping $2,000 a night. The club reportedly generated around $40 million in revenue in 2023. That's just one property. Now, zoom out for a second and think, this is just one part of the empire. If Mar-a-Lago is opulent, then the Trump Tower penthouse in Manhattan is borderline ridiculous in its extravagance. Donald Trump's triplex spans floors 66 through 68, about 6,200 to 10,996 sq-ft, depending on which figure you believe, with 5 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms. Valued at around $100 million. Inside, it channels 17th-century French palace vibes. Crown moldings, 24-karat gold leaf everywhere, lamps, vases, platters, marble floors, fresco-painted ceilings depicting Apollo in his chariot, Corinthian columns, crystal chandeliers, and bronze statues. The entrance even features a gold and diamond-encrusted door. One sitting room has a $15,000 limited edition Muhammad Ali book, one of only 1,000 copies. So, yes, Donald Trump is wealthy. Everyone knows that. But the real plot twist here is that his family, the whole clan, every branch, every in-law, every silent heir, is far richer than you've been led to believe. These people could host a family reunion on a private island shaped like Ivanka's cheekbones and still have enough left over to buy 3 golf courses and a court case. And the craziest part is that half their money isn't even loud. It's quiet wealth, generational wealth, old school, tucked into shell companies wealth. The kind of wealth where accountants don't sleep, lawyers don't blink, and cousins you've never met suddenly appear with investment proposals. But before we go any deeper into this empire of hush-hush billions, do me a quick favor. If you're loving this breakdown so far, if you enjoy peeling back the velvet curtain and exposing the financial architecture behind America's most controversial dynasty, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It takes 1 second for you, but it helps this channel reach more people who love these deep dives into power, privilege, and the secret worlds the ultra-rich don't want you to see. And trust me, what you're about to discover about the other Trumps, it gets wilder, richer, and far more complicated than anything you've heard on TV. Let's keep going. Take the Trump Organization, the visible crown jewel. Hotels, golf resorts, towers, branding deals, that's the surface. But like any iceberg story, the danger, or in this case, the fortune, is in what you don't see. Licensing deals alone have pulled in hundreds of millions over the years, and that's before we even get into the overseas ventures. People forget Trump stamped his name on properties in Turkey, South Korea, Panama, India, the Philippines, basically everywhere except Antarctica. And honestly, give him time, he'll probably try. And if you think that's wild, understand that these deals don't just make Donald rich, they funnel money into the extended family tree. Every child benefits from the empire he built, whether through inheritance, shares, trust structures, or simple proximity to the brand. Ivanka Trump, for example, isn't just the glamorous political fashion girl people think she is. Ivanka is sitting on business ventures, equity, and brand structures so layered they could use them to teach architecture. Her name alone was once valued at tens of millions. Combine that with her husband Jared Kushner, who, by the way, casually manages billions in real estate like it's a side hobby, and you have a power couple whose wealth silently competes with entire small countries. Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner aren't just coasting on daddy's name. They're building their own parallel empire. Their Miami mansion on Indian Creek Island cost $24 million and has 3 acres on Biscayne Bay. The couple are situated in the top tier of global wealth operators. People see Ivanka's clean outfits and whisper-soft voice, and miss the fact that she can drop $100 million into a project without checking her banking app. Then there's Don Jr. and Eric, the 2 princes of real estate who grew up treating construction sites like playgrounds. Their investment interests stretch from hotels to wineries to commercial developments to hunting lodges that the rest of us can't even afford to look at. These men grew up in boardrooms, not living rooms. Don Jr. alone has multi-million-dollar speaking deals, book deals, stakes in the company, and a lifestyle that screams, "Yes, I know what generational money feels like." Eric, equally soft-spoken, but quietly strategic, runs half the business that keeps producing profit long after the news cycle moves on. Donald Trump Jr. lives in a combined 12,000 SQFT Upper East Side Manhattan apartment. He and his brother also co-own a 171-acre private hunting preserve in upstate New York, with towers, shooting ranges, exploding targets, licensed as a high-volume shooting preserve. His net worth is less often publicized, but still sizable. And Eric Trump quietly runs much of the business, especially the golf and hospitality arm. His net worth is often estimated in the mid-hundreds of millions. Tiffany Trump, often overlooked, has a net worth around $10 million. But with family trust assets and her husband's wealthy background, her financial future is far from average. And then Ladies and gentlemen, we have Melania. Melania Trump is richer than people realize, simply because no one bothers to ask. Before marrying Donald, she was already successful, already connected, already financially comfortable. But after entering the Trump orbit, let's just say she didn't come out with a souvenir keychain. She came out with assets, influence, and a stake in a multinational empire. People underestimate her because she moves silently, but the quiet ones always hold the sharpest checkbooks. Now, brace yourself for this one. Baron Trump. Oh yes, the mysterious kid who avoids the spotlight like it owes him money. Barron is quietly becoming one of the wealthiest future heirs in American history. He has trust structures waiting for him, family shares, inheritance paths, and a pipeline of influence that will make him a billionaire without ever lifting a gold-plated finger. Imagine becoming a millionaire just from your last name before you even finish high school. Imagine being so tall at 19 that the altitude alone probably charges tax. That's Barron. Even though he is the youngest, Baron Trump is reportedly sitting on trust assets and inheritance structures that easily run into the hundreds of millions. One report estimated about $150 million for him alone. But real estate like this is only part of the picture. The family's wealth machine runs on multiple tracks: branding, licensing, international deals, investments, crypto. For example, since 2024, the Trump family reportedly pulled in over $600 million in income from crypto, golf resorts, and licensing deals. Better yet, their involvement in the meme coin game and crypto platforms alone is estimated to account for billions. What that means, when headlines talk about Trump losing money, be skeptical. There's money most people never see. So what's the takeaway? The Trump family isn't just rich. They're operating at a level where most people don't even know the plays. Real estate, luxury, licenses, crypto, global deals, influence. They've positioned themselves so that even while you're watching the drama, the money parts are quietly building behind the screen. When you're worth billions, you don't need to broadcast every cent, but you do need to control every million. If you thought you knew how rich the Trumps were, think again. Their wealth isn't just loud. It's deep. It's layered. It's global. It's complicated. And it's only getting bigger. If that blew your mind, do yourself a favor. Click like, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and drop a comment telling me which property, deal, or Trump family member shocked you the most. Because we're just scratching the surface here. Stay tuned for more deep dives. Because next time, I'm pulling back the curtain on the lesser-known offshore deals and hidden brand licensing moves that most people don't even hear about. You think the story's done? It's just getting started.